Well, he is an absolute beloved former All Black captain. He played 122 games for the Hurricanes, 74 times for the All Blacks, was coaching the Blues, and is now in his first season, just about to conclude as Moana Pasifika coach. It's a very warm welcome to the program, Tana Umaga. Thanks for joining us, mate.
How are you, Martin?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Hey, I'm loving your season. I mean, last year the team won one game. This year you've won 4. So it hasn't finished yet. I do know the season, but just reflecting on what it's been so far, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, we're pretty positive. Obviously, we're still looking to finish on a high note. Going down to Christchurch and playing the Crusaders is not an easy task by any means, and they're a bit of a resurgent now at the back end. But we're still, we're still going to go down there and give it our best, and we've still got a chance, and making the quarterfinals too. So there's a lot to play for. So it's been hard to reflect really because we've been so, as you do, week to week, you're just so engrossed in it and you forget about what's happened. But I'm sure when we sit back, as you mentioned, we've built on the first 2 years, and I think that's all we can do is just trying to get better and keep building on the foundations that have been put in place before.
Oh, what would be your proudest achievement so far? Is it a single game? Is it the 4 games? Is it a buy-in from the players? What would it be?
Yeah. All those things.
That's okay.
I suppose also the growth that I can see in a lot of these young players as they start to learn what it takes to be a professional player. I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of these guys don't come from academies or come through pathways that are steeped in really elite high performance. So we're trying to educate our players around sometimes what we feel are simple things, but again, because of the different backgrounds of where our players have come from, it's probably not as simple. But watch them, and the ones that have really taken it on board, watch them flourish and learn and utilise those skills and those new things that they've learnt, and watch them put it into place. I think that's probably some of the biggest satisfaction I feel as a coach. That's what you want to see, because those are the things that'll make them sustainable at this level. And obviously, when that happens, then it's good for the player, it's good for the club, and it's good for us as a team.
Look, we've had Sekope Kepu, and I know that he's retiring now. We've had him on the program a couple of times, and he's talked about this kind of thing, what you've talked about there as well. And it's almost like, look, you're in a professional competition, professional environment with professional players, but it's a different kind of professional, isn't it, as opposed to you coaching the Blues, for example?
Yeah. It's that context of what does professional mean. You get paid to play. That's what some people think a professional is, but it's actually everything around that. That's the easy bit. Once you get signed to a contract, you get paid straight away. But it's all those. We talk about habits and behaviours that true professionals have day in, day out. They make it part of their lives, and it's the thing that makes them consistent. I think that's what we're looking for. It's a consistency of habits, of those behaviours, because we believe that if you get that, you get consistent performances, and that's what we're trying to build here. And I'd say, our season probably hasn't been consistent as much as we would have liked. We've been able to get up for games, but then our drop away straight after, that's probably, and how big that is from one week to another, and I think if we could have had, some more weeks added onto the season right now, I think we're just starting to get that now. We're starting to get that familiarity with, what a week looks like in professional rugby. How do we handle that? How do I look after myself, not just on the field, but off the field? When I go home, how I wake up, and those are the things that I'm sure that players like Sekope and Christian Leah Panapa, the guys that have been in these programs for a long time. It's just natural, and that's they become, they're just habits that they have because that's what they've been doing, and they see the benefits of those, and it's those things that we need to pass on to our other players, our younger players. And again, as I said before, usually they learn that through the academy and their NPC teams, whereas, we're picking them up and having to implement that stuff as well as trying to lift their level of knowledge around the game. And there's no lack of want. There's a lot of enthusiasm around this stuff, and that's what's great. A lot of energy around, who we play for, and, trying to get the most out of their opportunities that's been given to them. And some of them have got a bit to learn around that area. But the energy's there, the want's there. It's just, again, how long it takes. And, it's the thing that we all want. We all want more time. But, it's hard to find sometimes.
Tana, how do you balance all of that? Because this is not an excuse comp. This is not an excuse sport. It's a result sport. It is a winning sport, and that's your mentality, and that's what you always had as a player. You had that as a coach and things. So how do you balance that? Because it must be frustrating at times. It's almost like what you're describing is you're kind of behind the eight ball a lot, but you don't have time to be behind the eight ball, and no one wants that excuse anyway. Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, in the end, we're playing in Super Rugby, and if we want to promote our cause, then obviously the more successful you are, the better it is for not just us, but us being a team that players want to be a part of. And again, there's when you come to recruitment, and if you're always wallowing at the bottom, it's hard to convince players that it's going to be good for them and their futures to join us. So, the Super Rugby competition, that's in our team, that's the shop front window, and we can build a lot more off that if we get some successes, and that's and as you said, everyone wants to win, and I'm no different. I want us to win, and we just got to keep building. Like we've improved from the last 2 years. We're obviously, where we are now, and we don't want to go backwards. So we've got to learn from the experiences I've had in being around those other professional environments, and how do we do that? What's the best way forward? While also making sure that we cater to, who we're here to represent. Obviously Samoa, Tonga, the Pacific Islands. We're trying to build those, but there's hopefully going to be there's a lot of layers that we have to implement and put in place to achieve that too. And it's not just an overnight thing. These things, again, just like we talked about players just before about being sustainable, we want this club to be sustainable, and we want to be able to filter those through. But again, we're at the early stages like anything, and we have to be able to move and adapt and make sure that, we've got to build. As one side builds up, we can't forget about the other areas of our club and our business to make sure that they're building up as well. And we're getting there.
And how important to you and how crucial is it that the other clubs don't come in and take another Levi Omua off you? That what you're offering, that the future that you're offering is that the players can see that and go, I can succeed here. I can go on to higher honours from here. I can get noticed here. I don't have to get cherry picked and go somewhere else.